Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. You already know it's your big bro. I got something to say. I wouldn't be on here if I didn't. Are you listening? Are you paying attention? Open up your third eye, man. I tell y'all that all the time. Listen, look, we're going to get into some of this third eye. You know, I've always told you before that I taught the Bible for many, many years. I stood before people and proclaimed what is the so-called gospel. This is a very esoteric book. I take nothing away from the Bible. I mean, the Bible is a good book. You know, I can't really speak down about it. It does hinder a lot of people from a lot of different things. This is a spiritual journey when you're using this book. But like all books, there is a beginning and there is an end. You can learn something spiritual from anything. Just look at your local, or look at like current cartoons and different stuff like that. Even those things have esoteric knowledge in them and things that your children can learn, good and bad. And the Bible is no different. So what I want to talk about is some esoteric knowledge. And what I mean by esoteric is not surface level shit. Surface level shit is just that, surface level. When you're dealing with surface level stuff, a lot of people don't get the deeper understandings of what is trying to be portrayed and talked about, because the Bible speaks in parables. There are, like I previously said, there are a lot of good things in the Bible that can open you up and awaken you to the spiritual miscues and things that may be possibly going on in your life. It's things in there that can help your marriage, help your children, just help your way of life in general. Like a ton of other books, man. This is really a self-help book if you allow it to be. And don't take everything literal, but look for, like I just said, the esoteric origins or the underbelly of what is being said in those parables. I want to talk a little bit about Matthew chapter 6. Matthew chapter 6 has always been one of my biggest teaching go-tos in the past when I did stand before people that believed in Jesus. I no longer subscribe to that mindset of believing in Jesus, but his teachings, the parables, are the biggest misconceptions, I would say, that a lot of people can take from these things and learn from these things and improve themselves from it, if they allow themselves to study it and be diligent in it and be invested into it. You have to be invested into some shit just to understand it. There has to be a level of sacrifice. There has to be a level of dedication to understand certain things. And I feel like I'm in a place right now. I'm gonna just tell you what's going on with me. So I currently started a little diet where, I do this every so often, where I just detox my body and diet and lose weight, because, I'm just the type of person in my mind, if I feel like I want to do it, I can do it. I've lost weight so many times, gained weight so many times, just because if I feel like I want to do it, I do it. Just point blank, period. And now I'm at the place where now in life, it's been a couple years. I hadn't done a real diet in probably about 2 years. I hadn't lost weight in about 2 years. I usually stay around about 240, 260. But I've allowed myself to get up about 3 and some change. Which, I'm comfortable at, but I realized that my spiritual side is kind of leaving me a little bit. I'm spiritually dead. And that is because the spirit is say like this. Hopefully you can see this. It's like this. When you put food in it, you see how cloudy that is in the inside? So when you put food in it and different materialistic shit and ideas, it gets gunked up. And you have to, every once in a while, do a detox and clean yourself so that you can be spiritually open to what's going around you, and be aware of the universe and be in tune with some stuff, man. So that's where I'm at right now, and that's what I'm going through, where I felt like before I started this a couple weeks back that I was spiritually missing something. You know, I felt like things are good. Don't get me wrong. Shit is good in my life. You know, shit is going great. Relationships going great. Kids going good. You know, everything is great. But I felt like, man, it's something that I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing. So now is the time. Now is the time for me to do what I normally do. And I'm going through the routine of doing what I normally do, which is, you know, detoxing the body, doing a little keto, and doing a lot. I mean, a whole lot of fasting. I do a lot of intermittent fasting. I do a lot of fasting, like as far as a day at a time, 24 hours, 36 hours. I do a lot of that. A lot of people are not aware of that besides my wife, but that's just me. That's how I get down. And if you want to be spiritually open, I'm telling you, this is some esoteric knowledge that is in the Bible about this. If you want to be spiritually open, you have to do this. Fasting is a big part of having your third eye open. And I'm going to show you according to your book. Notice I said your book. This is your spiritual go-to. This is the thing that you harp on so much. You love to go to this book, but 99.9% of you don't know shit about it. You don't follow it. You don't understand it. You don't read it. You definitely don't read it. Half of you don't read shit. And I know you don't read this book, because if you did read this book, number one, it'd be a whole lot smaller people in the church, because it specifies what you should be doing, and that's not overeating. Gluttony is a sin according to the Bible concepts. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not saying I subscribe to these things. I'm just telling you, it's some esoteric knowledge there that can be used, and a lot of you don't subscribe to this as well. You might as well be atheist because you don't follow it. That's just that's my opinion on that. And it's really not even my opinion. It's really facts. A lot of you don't subscribe to this book that you claim you love, and you claim you love God, and you claim you hate evil and all this and all that, but you don't abide by the very book and the steps that it takes to follow who is so-called Christ in this book. You don't do it. So if you're not willing to go through these sacrificial things to understand this knowledge, please cut this video off right now. Cut the video off right now. Because I'm telling you, the next shit that I say, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it. You're probably not going to understand it. And that's just, I'm not trying to insult you and you know, no shit like that. I'm just telling you what I see on a day-to-day basis. I'm telling you, the people that say that they are this and all that, they really not. When it comes to this Bible and it comes to this book, and the people that's supposed to follow it, though, the fivefold ministry, the apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers, even the saints of the kingdom, so-called kingdom, they don't follow this book. They don't understand this book. All they do is listen to a man every Sunday and Wednesday tell you about the book and never go home and read it. Don't look up Hebrew words. Don't look up origins of words. Don't look at the Strong's Concordance. They don't look at shit. And it's sad. It's sad because we're supposed to be this nation under God, so to speak, under this Bible. And there's 300 million people in America. And I guarantee you probably 290 of them don't know this book like they say they do if they claim themselves to be Christians. And that's just the reality that it is. But without further ado, man, let's get into some real shit, man. I don't want to rant too long because, I can get a little long with it. And that's just my nature. That's how I've always been. But we're going to talk about some good shit. Believe that. We're talking about the third eye, man. The eye of Horus. Horus is another word that we get the word hours from. Hours. Horus and hours. That's where we get that from. It has something to do with time. And the third eye got something to do with time as well. When you really dig into it and look at it, because it takes time to be calcified. It takes time and meditation and fasting and diligently removing things from your life to open up yourself in this way. And the ancient people, the ancestors, they knew this, man. The ancients, they knew this. They didn't have that many distractions. I mean, they had distractions, trust me, because, you know, the powers that should not be, of course, they always put distractions in there. But they knew about this. They understood this knowledge, you know. I want to say majority of them anyway. So in Matthew chapter 6, Jesus talks about the eye being the lamp of the body. It says, the eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are healthy, your whole body will be full of light. And that's the New International Version. And if you don't like that version, let's jump down to the King James, or the New King James. It says the light of the body is the eye. The eye. Not the eyes. Not the eyes. He's talking about the eye. Not these, but this in here. The chamber that's within this. It said the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. What it's talking about is being focused, single, being focused. If your eye is focused, if this is focused, then your whole body will illuminate. You will become one of these ones, these so-called illuminated ones, who we coin the term Illuminati. That's a part of being the Illuminati, the illuminated ones, a light bearer. You are a light bearer when you open up your third eye to be single, not materialistic, not looking at the things of this world. Okay, of course we need shit. You know, we need this and we need that to survive. But sometimes you can overdo shit. Sometimes, like me, myself, okay, boom, I like to sports gamble. I'm very good at it because gematria. I use gematria, the practice of coding numbers in the word. It is an ancient practice from the ancestors where they mathematically could figure out things based on the numbers, based on this code of coding numbers and letters. Understand me? So I do that often, but you can be in a place with that even where it's dangerous. You can become so encumbered with it that it overtakes you, that you're no longer thinking about other things, that you're no longer in tune with other things, that it's all about money, making money. I don't want to be like that, and I'm not like that. I do it for fun. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it according to an understanding that, hey, this doesn't run my life, and I'm not going to let it run my life. But a lot of you are so just into it. You cannot be spiritually awake and be single, like I'm talking about here in the scripture, in this script. You can't be single in sight because you are overindulging yourself in one particular way. It goes back to this, what I was just talking about. This becomes cloudy. It becomes cloudy. It becomes clouded up with stuff, with materials, and we're trying to become single. In order way to become single, you have to get that gunk, that shit, that stuff that's in your life that's not giving you peace, that's not giving you full transparency of what's going on around you. You have to get rid of that shit. One of the biggest things, I'm going to tell you right now, and it's the hardest thing, that's why Americans are so overweight. One of the biggest things is food. Food is huge. And I'm going to show you what Jesus even talked about this. See, like I said, a lot of people read this and don't really understand what they're reading. They don't go through, they don't see the progression of what he's talking about and where he's taking you. He's trying to show you a way to get your third eye open. He's trying to show you a way to have a deeper level of understanding, a place where you can transcend even what's around you. He's trying to show you this. And I'm going to show you. Look, Let's go to the full scripture in Matthew chapter 6. He says, and I want to start. Okay, I'm going to start with the Lord's Prayer, right? All right, I'm going to start with the Lord's Prayer. So we're going to start right here in verse 5. Now, the verse that we want to go to, that we're going to end up at is 22. And we're going to end on 24, right? So, but we're going to start on 5 and work our way down. This is a teachable moment, and hopefully you get this. Okay. He says, and when you pray, we're going to stop right there. What is prayer? Prayer is a form of meditation. Prayer is a form of inner self, and your inner self being in tune with what is going on with situations around you, what is going on in the heavenlies as it is in earth, your body. Your heavenlies is your mind. Your body is the earth. And shout out to my homie Clarence. He used to tell me this all the time, and I finally understand it. It's twofold, the heavens and the earth, as above, so below. It's what's going on in your mind, your singular eye being full of light will transmit itself through the earth. What happens in the heavens, what happens with the sun, the moon, the stars, it affects what happens here on earth every single day. I'm talking about the physical and I'm talking about the spiritual. I'm talking about the outside and I'm also talking about the inside. I'm talking about what's going on in the earth as far as the earth is concerned out there in the heavens, which is space and that continuum. But I'm also talking about your own space in your head, your own heaven in your head, your own earth, which is your body. I'm also talking about that. It says, and when you pray. So that means you're supposed to pray when you pray. It's not an option. You're supposed to take time every day where you just sit back and, you ain't got to go to no, you ain't got to really do a whole lot to go to no, place of it is a place, but it's not a place. It's a spiritual place, but not a physical place, but it can be a physical place as well. It just depends on your level of maturity. So you have to go to that place when you pray, when you do these things. He's telling you, it says, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the synagogue and on the street corners to be seen by men. Truly, I tell you, they already have their full reward. But when you pray, so what is he talking about? He's saying, look, don't be like everybody else. Everybody else goes to a certain place in a church and gather with people in order to do this, to be seen every Sunday, every Wednesday, every day, to be seen by people, to show people that you're doing this and you're doing that, and you're part of this organization, you're part of that organization. We are a society of look at me, look at me, look at me. Look at what I'm doing. So everybody can have an idea of who I am instead of knowing who I really am. People are so in love with ideas of people that they don't recognize the real people. I realized this about my own self. People are in love with the idea of who I am. But a lot of you don't really know me. Very few know me. I reveal myself to very few people. And one of the only people that I can say in my life that know me is my wife. You feel me? So it's like me and her, we don't get so encumbered about being seen by people, being in the synagogue. The synagogue is a definition of a place of worship or a place of like-mindedness, like a Facebook, like a Instagram, like a YouTube, like your subscribers. You have certain subscribers based on your like-mindedness. He said, don't get caught up into being with these like-minded people to be seen by these like-minded people. There's a deeper truth here, man. I know we throw away the Bible, we throw down the Bible, and we just say, to hell with that, because, they done stole from so much shit, which they have. They stole from a lot of different cultures, but they stole from the truth. A lot of these things are truth. A lot of these things are truth. And it's not to be taken literal, but it's to be taken spiritual. You ain't supposed to be sitting around waiting on Joe Blow to drop out the sky to save you. I'm not telling you to do that. I will never tell you to do that, because that's foolishness to me. But he's talking about you saving yourself. You being your own Noah and saving your family and the ones that will come along in the boat with you. That's what Jesus stands for. The ones that will come along in the boat upon your spiritual journey, and you can take them to a higher level. Taking those like-minded people, but not to do these things to be seen by these people. Doing these things to elevate these people, to transcend these people, to make these people better. It's a difference. He said, don't do these things on the street corners to be seen by men. Street corners, like what I just said. Not only synagogue, street corners. He's not only talking about the paganistic. He's talking about the righteous and the unrighteous. He's talking about, okay, you get on Facebook to be showing that you selling this or you doing that. Not saying that you shouldn't be promoting, but it's a level of promotion, and then it's a level of just you stunting and fronting. You feel me? He said, truly, I tell you, they already have their full reward. But when you pray again, go into your inner room, go into your mind, shut the door, close out distractions. It says, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Pray to those ancestors. Try to tap into those spiritual ancestors who is unseen. The spirits and the things that are around you is what he's saying. And your Father who sees what is done, your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. The universe, whatever you put out into the universe, whatever you praying about, thinking about, you gravitate everything to you based on you going into your inner self, your inner room, and meditating and praying. It says, and when you pray, do not babble on like pagans. He said, just don't be just, constantly talking about paganistic shit. I want this, I want that, me, I. It seems like that's what it's about right now. Everything is about me and I. That's why nobody is spiritually awake to the truth or what's going on. It says, for they think that by their many words they will be heard. Do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. The universe knows what you need before you ask. The universe is in tune with you, but you got to get in tune with it so that you can know what to think upon to bring about in your life. A lot of the things that we think we need, we really don't need. And that's on period. You really don't need half the shit that you think you need. You wanna be this way because that's what's placed in front of you. You wanna do like this because that's what's placed in front of you in the tail a vision. The tail a vision is giving you a vision of what you want for yourself, but that's not really for you. We have to be truthful with our own selves and who we really are and who we are really supposed to be according to our purpose and our destiny, and be that. And look for those things, not a version of somebody else. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, you'll never get in trouble trying to be yourself. You will never get in trouble I never have a problem being myself. I always have a problem with being somebody else. I have never had a problem with being me. I get in trouble when I try to be like Joe, John, Cletus, trying to be like Tyrone, trying to be like Pee Wee, trying to be like everybody else instead of Vic. When I become like me and be according to my purpose, that's when you have some peace, man. I ain't never been so peaceful in my life. I've tried so hard to get to this spot, and I realized it's a journey. So I enjoyed the journey. I kicked myself, though, because the journey took too long. But I've had so much peace now in my life because I'm trying to be me and no longer trying to be everybody else and be seen in the street corners by men and seen in the synagogues by men a certain way. Babbling on like pagans, he said. Me, babbling on like pagans in the past. He said, don't be like them, for your Father knows. The universe knows what you need. The universe knows and is in tune with your needs and your situations and what you will need in the future. Beware of that. Hopefully you can see me. I keep bending down. I'm trying not to. I'm sorry. It says, though, so then this is how you should pray. And he goes into a dissertation, I guess for lack of a better word, a example or a walkthrough of how you should do this. The inner workings of how you should come to this place where you have some level of understanding to get your third eye open. This is leading into opening your third eye. That's why it's context is so important. Even in this day and age, we see a lot of times where we see a video that's jerked out of context and is shown on some social site where it looks bad, but we don't know what happens before and we don't know what happens after. It's the same thing with reading. We jerk a lot of things out of context and we don't know what happened before and we don't know what happens after. And these things are crucial, especially the before. The before is so crucial to understanding and getting a deeper esoteric knowledge of what's going on here. It says, our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Our Father, notice that, in heaven, hallowed be your name. Holy is your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done. He's talking about the universe. How sacred these things are. We take life for granted, man. We don't take life serious, man. We let these days and minutes and hours pass by without doing things and putting things in place that we should, man. We got to be more in tune with the kingdom of this universe, the kingdoms of plants and animals, the kingdom of time, the kingdom of planets, the kingdom of everything around us, man. Everything has its own little kingdom and own little system, your body as well. We got to be more in tune with these things. It says, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth, in this body, as it is in heaven. So whatever's happening up here happens here. Whatever happens in the heavenlies happens in the body. You see that? It says, give us this day our daily bread, right? And I could go into this is deep right here. Give us this day our daily bread. I guess I give you a little bit. He's talking about rationing every day, meaning being a part of that day, in that day, and everything that pertains to that day, single day. We're only thinking about that particular day. Not to say you shouldn't plan, but I'm saying we get so focused on tomorrow and next week and the week after that we miss a lot of things right in front of our eyes right here today. Our daily bread, everything that we need to sustain ourselves today could be possibly in this day. That's what daily bread is. It says, forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. We have to come to a place where I live by one rule. If I can't let you borrow it, if I can't let you have it, I won't let you borrow it. I'll say that again. If I cannot let you have it, I will not let you borrow it. So we have to come to a place where we understand this for our own selves And we also don't go out here and get ourselves in a lot of debt with that same mind and concept. Because this breeds a lot of misconceptions that trying to keep up with the Joneses, the conception right now is that we should try to keep up with the Joneses. That's a misconception to me. What should be happening is we need to be living according to our own lifestyle. Like I said, I don't never get in trouble when I'm trying to be me, when I'm doing me. I get in trouble when I'm trying to be like everything that I see on the tell a vision or out here in these street corners and synagogues. You feel me? It says, forgive us of our debts as we also forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. He's talking about delivering us from these things that can overtake our lives. This stuff, this cloud of stuff, man, being delivered from the stuff, the temptation of this stuff, so that we can have a deeper level. We can deep dive into some shit. It says, for if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. Whatever you put out comes right back, man. That's a universal principle in every religion, it's like a boomerang. And we know that. Whatever you think, whatever you say, that shit comes back. I've used that so many times. That is proven. This is not no bullshit. This is something that's proven. I've used that myself so many times. Realistically, I ain't talking about you saying, "Oh, I'm a millionaire, and I'm a millionaire," and the shit you becoming a millionaire. I'm not saying that, because a lot of us are not meant to be millionaires. Because a scary thing for me is this. Quick about me. I'm using myself as an example a lot. A scary thing to me is having a lot of money. That's scary to me. And I know a lot of people say, well, you don't want to be rich. Sure, that would be awesome. If you ain't have to work every day, you just get up and study and read. If I could just do that, man, I'd be on a whole nother playing field. But I don't take nothing away from working. But it's scary to be rich. Why? Because you don't know. You no longer know. This world is built on materials. Matter. Like Mother Earth. It's built on matter. And you don't know who's for you, who's really for you, and who wants your stuff, who wants your money. You feel me? So that's dangerous to me. It's dangerous to be like that. Okay. So putting it out there, putting certain energy out there, you receive that same energy. Being a forgiving person, you receive forgiveness. Being a loving person, you receive love. Being a friendly person, you receive friendship. Being a gossiper, you receive gossip. Being an evil person, you receive evil. Whatever you put out there as energy, you receive back. That's a concept even in your body. Giving your body this bullshit, your body look like bullshit. Honestly, you can just see that right now. Giving your body the right shit, your body look like some right shit. It says, but if you do not forgive men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive yours. When you fast. I can't say that again. He says when you fast, and he says when you pray. You see that? So that means you're supposed to be doing this. Fasting and praying. Now, I gave you the definition of what prayer is, and fasting is the same thing. Intermittent fasting, or full day fasting. It's dangerous for some if you have medical conditions, but you can fast all kind of shit. You can fast social media. You fast those things that you know. See, this is when you have to be in tune with you and who you are. You fast those things which you know is hindering you from being a better person. I got a buddy at my job. He says he's fasting sex. He fasts sex for 30 days at a time. That's awesome. He knows himself enough to know that sex has a hold on his life and has dominated his life for, I think he's 26, for 15 or 20 years, however long he's been having sex, that it dominates his life so much so that he has to fast and put himself at a distance from it in order to be spiritually in line and in tune with other things in his life. You have to fast. When you fast, it says, do not be somber like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces to show men they are fasting. Truly, I tell you, they already have their full rewards. He keeps going back to doing shit in front of people, to be seen by people, to let people know what you doing. He said, don't disfigure your face and don't be, because this was a common practice in the culture of the Hebrews, or however you, whatever you see them as, Jews or whatnot. They would do this different stuff to let people know that they are fasting. He's telling you, look, don't do shit just to be seen. Don't fast just to be seen. The term break fast, breakfast, it comes from this knowledge. It comes from this concept of fasting every day. You're supposed to go through a period of time where you are not eating. That is usually the time between 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening till 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning. 12 hours of fasting. You're supposed to go through that time period where there's nothing on your stomach. Not, you've allowed your food to digest, and then you lay down. And then you go through this time period where you are fasting, and you wake up in the morning to break your fast. Break fast, breakfast. That's where that concept comes from. We're supposed to be doing this every day, but what we have gotten into, a lot of us work third shift jobs. A lot of us just constantly eat all day, snack all day, snack all night, get up, or at night we're drinking sodas and drinking all kind of bullshit, just giving ourselves more and more and more and more. And guess what? It's clouding this up. This is cloudy. It's cloudy. It's full of shit. So we're not in tune with what's going on with our body. We're not in tune with what's going on in our relationships. We're not in tune with what's going on in life in general. We can't see through the tell a vision. They have to tell us shit and give us visions because we can't see with our third eye. That's what television is all about. Some people just immune to television because our third eye is open. We know bullshit when we see bullshit, and we don't listen to the bullshit that they try to tell us. Believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. I was always taught that. Hopefully you getting something, you learning something, man. I'm trying to walk you through this and give you everything that I could possibly know to give you on this. All right. Hey, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Hit that like button, man. I'm trying to get these subscribers up. Man, this knowledge need to be pushed out to everybody. I normally do gematria on this, and I might show you a little bit on this channel. I normally do gematria on this channel. I might show you a little bit on this video. It says, where are we at? It says they have their full reward. Your full reward is given to you when you do things in front of people to be seen by people. People give you your accolades and they talk about you and they tell you how great you are, and they're in conversations about what you are currently doing because you do these things to be seen by these people. That is your reward. You don't receive the rewards that you should receive because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You're doing it to be seen and not to be spiritually awake. You do things to be seen and not to be on a spiritual playing field that's above others. That's the wrong motive. It says, but when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face. What is he talking about? He's talking about cleanliness. He's talking about cleanliness, washing your face. He's talking about ridding yourself of the stigmatism of doing things to show other people. Because look, notice, washing your face is directly connected to disfiguring your face. Because this was a common practice during that culture in that time. They would put ashes on themselves. They would act like we just had Ash Wednesday, I think a week ago. And then people are currently now on that 40-day fast, which is funny that I'm talking about this during Lent, what is considered Lent, with a 40-day fast before Passover. People are now on during Lent are disfiguring their faces to show men that they are fasting. We've proclaimed a actual day to tell everyone this is what you should be doing, when we should just do these things naturally. No one should have to tell you these things. And that's what I hate about society and traditions and holidays, because we have these things. We just celebrated. Not we did, but I'm saying the world, because we don't celebrate holidays here. We 9 years free. Thank you to the universe for giving us that information and putting us in right standing what's going on with this paganistic culture. But we just celebrated Valentine's, right? The world shouldn't have to tell you to love your significant others, the ones that you deem righteous to love. The world shouldn't have to tell you when to do that. America shouldn't have to tell you when to do that. This is something that you should naturally do. I'm gonna put this mic in my hands because I'm tired of. I think it would be better if I do this. Okay. I said okay. Hopefully this won't be too distracting. It says you get your full reward when you do these things in front of men. It says, but when you do this, you're supposed to be doing this. This is supposed to be a common practice that a lot of you that's so-called Christians and believers of the Bible have never fasted, when Jesus even fasted 40 days and 40 nights. And that's what Lent is all about, doing the shit like what Jesus did. Because before he went to his trial and went through all the shit that he went through, he fasted in order to get his purpose, in order to understand his purpose, in order to get instructions, how the heavens open, and he was tempted. You will be tempted when you fast. You tempted by being connected to different shit to close up that portal. Jesus went through the same thing, 40 days. This is Lent all over again in the Bible. It tells you about it. And I've been on a 21-day fast before. I know how open you can get from fasting. I've experienced this. A lot of you have never fasted before in your life. A lot of you can't even fast 24 hours. And if you do fast, it's because you just forgot to eat and you didn't do it intentionally. I'm talking about intentionally going into a day saying, I'm not going to eat today. I'm just going to study, read, meditate, and try to open myself up to other things and get my life better. This is a part of being better in life. I guarantee you, any person that has a body worth looking at, they fast on a certain level. They do some form of fasting. So if you don't do it for no other reason and you just do it for that, there's benefits in just doing it for that. You are a healthier looking person and a healthier person in general. He says, but when you fast, you should be doing this. That means that means it's supposed to be happening. Anoint your head and wash your face. Okay, anointing your head. What is that talking about? I won't go into that because that would be another hour, anointing your head. I really want to. I'll tell you this. Just look into the benefits of the olive oil, and how it benefits your body. Anointing your head. That goes back to their culture and what they use to anoint themselves. This is an ancient practice, even beyond the Bible, because this material is stolen from what is Kemet, what is Africa, what is Egypt. Anointing yourself has everything to do with what I just said. Look that up. Okay, moving on. So that your fast will not be obvious to men. It says, anoint your head, wash your face, so that your fasting will not be obvious to men, but only to your Father who is unseen. Again, talking about the universe. It won't be so obvious to people. You don't have to broadcast it everywhere to get your accolades for how wonderful and great you are based on what you're doing, right? He says, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. It's going to be shown. It will be shown for what it's worth and what you're doing. When you're doing the right thing, it just shows. It shows in you. Like it's like being pregnant. Great example. It's like being pregnant. A lot of people don't know you fucking. They don't know you fucking. But guess what? When that semen hits that egg, what's done in secret will be shown publicly. You feel what I'm saying? The unseen will be seen in the manifestation of different things in your body. You feel what I'm saying? Your stomach gets big, your titties getting big, your nose getting big. Some men, and I'm one of those men, have reported to get toothaches during pregnancies, or or be stressed out. That's a common factor of being that of men that are have wives or significant others or girls or whatnot that are pregnant. So what's done in the dark comes to the light, is what he's saying here. The unseen will be seen. It will show. You will be rewarded for everything that you do. That's a universal concept and principle. Fasting and praying is a part of opening your third eye. That's what these two passages are all about. The third passage, leading up into the lamp of the body. Notice, leading up into this, do not store up for yourselves treasure on earth, where moth and rust destroy, where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasure in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, where thieves do not break in and steal, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. What is he talking about? The understanding of wherever your shit at, whatever you got your mind on and your heart into, whatever you thinking about constantly, that's where you going to be at. If I'm constantly thinking about the money in the bank, the money in the bank, the money in the bank, my heart is in the bank. If I'm constantly thinking about my family, my family, my family, my heart is in my family. He's telling you right now, you cannot be, listen very carefully, you cannot be materialistic. You cannot want the things of this world. I'm not talking about taking care of yourself. I'm talking about desiring shit that's not according to your purpose and who you are and what you should be in life. You have a encryption of DNA inside of you that's telling you and directing you to a certain path. Facts. You get in trouble when you get off the path of your own DNA and try to do things that you're not supposed to be doing. Being materialistic is a part of those things that you're not supposed to be doing. Now, some of us are just evil and, material, that's our shit, and that's what they should be doing. Yeah, you right in line with who you are, because you ain't shit, you ain't supposed to be shit, your DNA ain't shit, and you was born not to be shit. Period. It's some people like that. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you take that. That's just on facts. We know this. Some people just born with evil DNA. No matter what you do or say and how they're raised and none of that nurture versus nature shit, bullshit, it's just in their DNA to be the way that they are. That's facts. It said, don't store up for yourselves treasures on the earth, the body. The body. Don't store up for yourselves these treasures on the earth. Well, this shit is going to get old. And people going to be looking, like I said, it's a scary place to be a person. It's a scary thing to be and have money. Well, thieves break in and steal and everybody plotting on to get your shit. Don't be that person. Store up something somewhere. Once it's there, nobody can take that from you. That's what I love about my journey, is everything that I've learned, you can't take it from me. You may hate me, despise me, not like me, hope I do this and that and the third and die. You still cannot take from me everything that I've put in here. It is my job to preserve this. It is my job to feed this. No one can steal this unless you allow them to. By allowing them into your heaven. You allow them into the heavenlies, then they can come in and do and misconstrue and turn things around. That's how we in the predicament that we in now. That's why so many people follow after the system of the beast, which is the calendar, which is the language, the beast system, which is tradition, which are holidays, Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's a part of the beast system. We've given our heavenly abode up to these things. We've given our heavenly abode up to the people and the powers that should not be. He says, store up in a place where nobody can't take what God or the universe has given you. And it says, once you store up these things, have a sense of, I don't want to say pride, but treasure these things. For lack of a better word, it's already here. Treasure these things and have your heart and your mind and your soul and your body and your existence into this good knowledge, good understanding. These things is going to put people on a higher vibration. You feel me? So 3 things that he's told you to do already in order to be in a stable place, in a better place when it comes to your third eye. 1, pray, meditate. 2, fast. Get away from that bullshit that's keeping you from being a better person. Whether it be a relationship, whether it be stuff and things, whether it be food. Get away from that shit that's taking your time and your energy and it's putting you in a place where you can't get to that 4th level. 4 is the level of foundation. Understand that. 4 is also the number of death. I'm talking about death to self, death to your own desires, because it takes a different type of desire in order to pray and fast and give up shit, as it says right here, treasures in heaven. Storing up treasures in heaven, it takes a level of spiritual sacrificing and physical sacrificing to get to a place of death of self and what you want to be a higher version of you, your spiritual mind, and walk in a spiritual place to understand spiritual things. Know that. It says, store up those type of treasures. Don't store up Bentleys and this old bullshit, man. We think this shit gonna make us better people, but it don't. You can't take it with you. When you die, guess what? It's going to the next motherfucker. We just keep passing this shit along, passing it along, but we are so over encumbered with this shit. It consumes our lives and it clouds our judgment, man. It clouds our judgment. It clouds our spiritual eye, the third eye. So these are 3 things in order to get to this place. It says the lamp of the body, right? The eye is the lamp of the body, the third eye. If your eyes are good, your whole body will be full of light. Not only is he talking about your eye, notice he said eye, and then he said eyes, plural, meaning 3. These 2 and this one. He's initially talking about this one. The eye, this being the lamp of the entire body, the earth. Once this eye is good, and this initially helps these. The initial eye helps these eyes. Once you see here in the mind's eye, then you can see what's going on around you, what people are doing, what is being portrayed. You can see the narrative of bullshit and you won't fall for it. But unless you got this open, you can't begin to even understand this video. You can't begin to understand the levels of gematria that we go through and the decodes that we go through because you don't have this open, because you are so encumbered with being rich and famous and being this person well known, and you have this title that you want everybody to call you and look upon you as. It's when you throw all this ambition away. The rich young ruler in the same Bible, it talks about a rich young ruler that had so much shit. He was so rich, and he knew all these commandments, and he came to Jesus like, look, I just, help me out here. He said, look, Jesus told him this: you rich, man, sell all everything you have and come with me. And the rich young ruler, he was like, man, I can't do that. I'm paraphrasing. He said, I can't do that. I can't throw my shit away. Why? He was so encumbered with shit. He didn't realize that this shit was prohibiting him from being the better person that he needed to be. Yeah, he had knowledge. See, we equate knowledge with being spiritually awake. That's not the case. A lot of us got knowledge, but we're not spiritually awake. We don't see, we still going and walking through the same bullshit year after year, doing like what everybody else do, being told what to do on a week in and week out basis, being told lies and believing these lies about whatever the case may be in the news from the day-to-day basis, not seeing the numbers and not seeing these rituals and the things that are really going on. You feel me? Talk to me out there. Comment. Let me know what's going on, what you feel about this video and what I'm saying here. The rich young ruler had that problem. And like a bunch of us, and Jesus was trying to tell him, Yeshua was trying to tell him, look, man, if he told his disciples later, if he'd just done that, he could have a lot. His life could have been fulfilled. He's not getting fulfillment within the stuff and things, but he could have the spiritual fulfillment that he needs in life and have peace. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. Peace, man. He could have that peace if he just gave up that stuff. It's because when you have stuff, you worried about stuff. More money, more problems. That's what Biggie said. He told you that simple line, and it's so true. More money, more problems. More stuff and shit. More stuff and shit to worry about. That's where your heart is, where your treasures is. You worried about your car at the house because, you put so much money and time into the car. You're afraid somebody gonna come and steal, rob it. That's where your heart is. You feel me? The rich young ruler could have had more. We can have more if we just throw our ambitions and these titles and this shit that don't matter, man. This shit that don't matter. I live so simple, man. I live so simple that really, to some people, it would probably be like semi-slumish. People would say that I'm a slum based on the way that we live. Because we're not encumbered with stuff and things. I mean, shit don't matter. A car ain't shit to me. I thank the universe for my car, and I'm glad I have no problems and no shit. Knock on wood, everything's going good. But I don't care about no Maserati. That's a nice car, but at the end of the day, guess what? Will it get me from point A to point B safely, fast? I'm not worrying about looks of different shit like that. I've drove the worst shit. That was the best shit to me. I drove a car that had a hole in the floor like I was a fucking Flintstone before, and drove it for years with pride. Put a system in it, tint the windows, all that good shit. Did not care. Because that's just the type of person I am, I'm not fascist. We're living in a fascist time and a fascist system. Oh, where am I at? If your eyes are good, your whole body will be full of light. Once this eye is good, you can receive the information that you need, the light that shines to other people, the light that shines through darkness. But if your eyes are bad, your whole body will be full of darkness, it says. What is it talking about? When your eyes ain't no good, you begin to infect other things with that no good mindset. It said, if the light within you is dark, how great is that darkness? How deep is the misconception that you have of what's going on around you? How bad is this third eye closed up? How great is it in your own life? And don't tell yourself, see, the worst thing you can do, don't tell yourself a lie. The worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. Be truthful with who you are in your own self. I was telling a buddy of mine last night, I was like, man, I didn't think marriage was for me at first because I'm a selfish person. He's like, man, that's truthful for you to say that you are selfish and know that and say it out loud. We have to be truthful with who we are. And we have to understand who we are and to be just better in this life in general. If you don't understand who you are, you can continue to lie to yourself. And that darkness will overtake what's supposed to be light. It says no one, and I'm going to end on this, no one can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will devote to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money or mammon is another term for that. I mean, it's self-explanatory. You cannot straddle the fence with certain things. And I went on a little rant last week about people that was saying, I was a part of the gematria community on Facebook. Shout out to them. It's a little group page that I have called Freely Giving. And let me go back and let you see it. I went on a bit of a rant about people were saying, oh, I believe in some of the shit that you post, but I don't believe the numbers, and you lose me on the numbers, and I believe you could just fit everything into a little box. You try to fit everything into your little box, and that's how you come up with what you come up. And I went on a little rant like, look, I don't have to fit shit into nothing. It is what it is. The powers that should not be are doing these things. They're killing people by the numbers. They live according to this Kabbalistic code. And I see it. And those with their third eye open, they see it as well. And we're telling you about it. And I went on a rant about, look, you can't straddle the fence. You can't say you believe this but don't believe that. Now, I say all the time. Now, hear me clear. I say all the time, chew the meat and spit the bones. There is some level of, okay, I like this, but I don't like that. But if you never give things a chance for understanding, how can you say it's wrong? That's my point. If you never give things a chance to understand them, if you never give things a fully dedicated time to dive into these proven things, I'm talking about gematria. You cannot, that's not meat that you just throw away. That's not even bone. That's not bone. That's meat. You don't just discard it like that. You don't just say, oh, you put everything into a little box and you make it fit into the box that you want. No, that's not what we're doing here. That's not what we do. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. This shit is set right in front of you. All you have to do is partake. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. You feel me? Partake of what they're putting down, understand it, apply it to your own life, go through different decodes, and you will see it your own self like, wow, this shit really is happening. You cannot say you love truth You can't say you love truth and not love this knowledge. That's period. Because the truth is this knowledge is being put forth every day, whether you like it or not. The knowledge of gematria, the art of coding numbers and letters into words. You can't say you love truth and don't love this understanding. That word, the I. So don't straddle the fence is what it said in that last verse. Stop straddling the fence. Stop being, on this side and that side. Pick a side. You can't serve both. You can't be saying, and this is a part of that rant too. You can't be saying I'm all for truth, but be a part of these evil organizations, higher ups that are evil, a part of your organization, or part of shit that you are a part of. This is a part of the reason why I left the church and left the mindset of the church. This is a part of that reason. Because why would I say that I'm a Christian and I serve this God that these paganistic priests that wear the fish god Dagon hats and, do all this shit according to the paganistic codes? Why would I say that I'm a part of this shit that's out here raping these kids and doing all this old evil shit? Why would I say I'm a part of that when we know it's evil? We know what they're doing. Why would I want to be a part of that? Why would I want to claim that? You shouldn't. You should take yourself out of those situations. But we so encumbered about being this type of person that we've been trained to be. That word, the I, he's talking about the mind's eye. See that? Strong concordance word. Hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is the I, not the eyes, the I. The I is talking about the mind's eye. Again, this is the concordance for the Bible. This is etymology. The word hypothalamo. It means the inner room or chamber. The inner room. Let me find the picture that I want. What happened to it? Oh, you can see it here on the diagram somewhat. The inner room, thalamus, the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland. Oh, can you see that? You can't see that. Oh, where that picture is. Here it is. This is one. Those nerves that are connected. All of this is connected. This is where this symbol comes from. Detoxing this, fasting, praying, meditating, get rid of shit in your life will lead you to an open third eye. The hypothalamo, the original word. It's from the original word thalamus, which means the inner chamber, the bedroom or vault, a part of the forebrain where nerves appear to originate. What is it talking about? Again, this is a deeper understanding and concept. There's a deeper understanding and concept of your third eye and how to get to that place. A lot of you have been reading this book for years and don't really realize it. And it goes on to say after, do not worry. Worry is like a rocking chair. You go back and forth and nothing is accomplished. You're still in the same place. Worry, stress, one of the number one killers of our lives. Heart attacks, strokes, different shit like that. In this scripture, he talks about how the universe provides for everything in the universe. So stop worrying about your provisions. It goes back to the daily bread thing that I was talking about. The universe will provide everything that you need within the universe. Just go throughout your day regularly walking, just being aware, and you'll notice that things will come to you that need to come to you. Just be yourself. A bird we are the only species in this earth realm that tries to be everything else besides ourselves. You never seen a whale trying to be a peacock, or a squirrel trying to be a dolphin, or an ant trying to be a beetle, or a spider trying to be a snake. These things all have their own purposes. These things live according to their own purposes, and they move according to their own purposes without worry. They go and slither throughout life, talking about the snake, the fish fins along, and these things go about life. The ant goes along, and they're not worried about what's going to happen and their provisions for that day. They are provided for according to their purposes. Them being in their purpose better provides for them. When you get outside of your purpose, you miss out on your provisions. And that's what, after it's talking about your third eye is open, not saying, okay, your third eye is open, now stop worrying about stuff and shit and be yourself and live according to your purpose. He says, therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Today has enough trouble of its own. Being in the moment. But seek ye first. This is one of my favorite scriptures when I was coming up. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Being in a line with the universe. Having that eye single. And everything you need will be added unto you. You can go back and look at this verse because I went over my time. But hopefully you got something from this. Hopefully there's a level of understanding that has taken place. And I think I'm looking through my notes to make sure I've hit every point that I possibly want to hit. I think I've hit everything that I wanted to hit and talked about everything I want to talk about. Hopefully you got something from this. I just said something, and I hope you got it. You already know at the end of the day, it's freely given. One more thing, like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe, man. Share this work, man. Share this to people that don't know. You understand me? They want to censor this information. There's people out there that need to know this information, that need to understand this, right? They're all about calcifying your eye, your third eye. Understand and overstand this, all right?